Hey, folks, this clip is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com and type in promo code VOLS, that's VOLS, at checkout to fill your freezer with enough gourmet food to keep your cookouts going strong into the fall. That is omahasteaks.com, promo code VOLS. We should get to the actual predictions for the game. We've discussed a ton of it. There's just so much to discuss here because of everything that happened in that LSU game to now to McCullough being out and the whole thing. Oh, we should also mention Heupel today did say he expects Gerald Mincy to play in this game back, even though I would bet Crawford put in a performance that gets him a few reps now at that left tackle spot. But regardless, trying to think if there were any other major high points to cover before getting to the actual prediction.
It is just like with the Florida weekend. It's a huge recruiting weekend for Tennessee. They've got a lot of talented players coming in. David Hobbs, I believe, is coming back in town. 5-star guy Samuel Impimba. How do you pronounce? Okay,
I think that's right. That's how I've heard.
Keldrick Falk, 4-star, committed to Florida State. Tennessee might have a good shot there. And then you got some other Chindavian Bradley will be there, Tyree Weathersby, Jalen Smith, some other guys. So another big recruiting weekend where you got some current commits there with guys that Tennessee's trying to flip. So you beat Alabama in front of that crowd at Neyland. Man, you got to feel good about Tennessee's chances to land, some of those 4- and 5-star guys that are going to be on campus that aren't committed or committed elsewhere at this point.
This game, if you were to win, how much does that set you apart just in terms of being an actual contender in the minds of some of those elite recruits?
You become one of the it schools, kind of.
Exactly. It would just be so huge. I actually just this morning, I took out a clip from me and Crompton's show after the game where he was talking about the rise of Tennessee this season and how it's affecting recruiting. And it was actually great. I suggest everybody go watch it. The A to Z Sports Nashville YouTube channel. You can find it there. But he basically said like it implants in your mind. It's magic. You get taken by it. And to think what it was that good for Florida. How good is it going to be for this game if Tennessee pulls this off? Oh my gosh. You gotta think that's going to take recruiting to an entire other level if you're able to get yourself in the actual playoff conversation, beating Bama. I mean, good Lord. But with all of that said, Tennessee, Alabama, Saturday, 3:30 p.m. We have to listen to Gary Danielson speak. That'll be annoying, but won't really be a factor in how the game is played. How are you feeling, Zach? College Game Day will be there. SEC Network will be there. The Josh Pate Show will be there. Everybody and their mother in the college football world will be there. It's going to be absolutely wild. Does Tennessee pull it off? How are you feeling?
So before the Florida game, I was very nervous because of just the implications of that game. LSU game, I was pretty nervous because I felt, again, it's a game you should win. I didn't really know how it would play out. It actually played out a lot different than I thought. I thought it would be more low scoring. I thought LSU would make it uglier and tougher on Tennessee than they did. So because they surprised me against LSU, and because there's no pressure as a fan on this game, unless it gets into the fourth quarter and it's close, and then you start sensing that it's real and that pressure is, those nervous feelings come right back to the surface. But going into the game, I feel, after watching Alabama, I got to have two predictions, I think. You got to have one if Bryce Young plays and if Bryce Young doesn't play, right?
Good point.
If Bryce Young doesn't play, I'm with you. I think it could be a 2-touchdown win because I just don't think Alabama's offense is going to be able to keep up with Tennessee's offense. And we saw last year, even when this system was kind of fairly new, they were halfway through the season when they played Alabama, they still got Alabama in conflict. They still burnt them for a couple of big plays. I mean, this Tennessee offense does work against Alabama, and we know that. And it's going to work even better this year than it did last year because they're just operating more efficiently. So if Bryce Young doesn't play, I think Tennessee wins 31-17. I think it'll be a 2-touchdown win. I think Alabama's defense is going to be able to keep Tennessee out of the 40-point range. I do think that, but I don't think they'll be able to score enough to outscore Tennessee. If Bryce Young plays, the dude's a competitor. Even if he's not 100%, I, he's just been there in those big games. I think you got to go with Alabama in that scenario. I think it'll be close. I would have Alabama winning 27-20 if Bryce Young plays.
27-20 if Bryce Young plays, and it's if Milroe plays. Do we want to give actual full prediction for both?
So I think so, because I think it's a completely different game. I mean, that completely changes the outlook of the game, in my opinion.
It will completely change the way Tennessee's defense plays. At least it should. I mean, it's a passing quarterback versus a running quarterback. So that's the difference. I know for certain one scares me far more than the other with how good Tennessee's run defense has been. So 27-20.
That's mine if Bryce plays.
Somebody pointed it out here in the comments. I think it was like way back. We had a ton of comments. You guys are amazing. By the way, everybody, some people have already done this, but if you're watching, go ahead and comment your prediction for the game. We'll read them. I'll go through what everybody is thinking. You can give your prediction in the comments. We'll talk about them after I give mine here. From tailgate parties to busy weeknights, the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to savor all the flavors of fall with their mouthwatering assortments of perfectly aged steaks, ultra juicy burgers, and easy to prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Right now, take advantage of 50% off site-wide by shopping their semi-annual sale. The sale only happens twice a year, and it is on right now. You get 50% off delicious customer favorites. And when you use promo code VOLS, that is VOLS at checkout, you get an additional $30 off your order. And guys, I've had the burgers, I've had the Franks, I've had the chicken from Omaha Steaks. It is all phenomenal. It comes in this great freezer packed way right to your door. Incredibly convenient. I can't say enough about it, honestly. So don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter Vols at checkout and stock up on fall flavor today. Omaha Steaks is perfect for those chilly and busy fall nights with entrees that are ready before the kids can even say what's for dinner. And don't forget to use the promo code Vols at checkout and score your extra $30 off. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak. It is the best steak of your life, guaranteed. That's omahasteaks.com. Promo code Vols at checkout. Minimum order may be required. Omaha Steaks, promo code Vols. But a little ways back, somebody said that Alabama is weak on the back end of their defense. It might have been Crazy Nugs right here. I don't know who said it. But that they're weak in the back end of their D. I think that's absolutely true. And up front, they're serious. You're going to have to play against Will Anderson on that offense. And that is horrifying. But I don't think he's going to destroy you. I think the offensive line will play admirably. There's just going to be, just think about how pumped up this team is going to be coming into this game. And if they're not, don't let them play. Whatever player is not pumped up for this game, don't let them play. So I think with Milroe playing, I'm with you. This is a Tennessee win. The actual score, I think Tennessee will be able to score more. I think with Milroe in, Tennessee 38, Alabama 23. 38-23 with Milroe. If Bryce Young plays, they will throw on you. This secondary, Jalen McCullough is out. Big leadership void there. There are other leaders on that defense. It's not going to, as I said, I don't think it will be completely devastating or anything like that. But it's just not. If Young plays,
well, there's some conflict going on inside you right now. I can
tell you this. There is conflict in terms of just the final score. I think Alabama wins if Young plays. I do. Just to get to the point there. But the final score, I think 30 no, I'll go 40-33. Alabama. I think Young is that much of a difference maker. I mean, he won the Heisman last year. He's great. They are not strong at the wide receiver positions, but I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, a monster in the backfield. That kid, that will be the best running back that you played all season by a long shot. Pittsburgh has the whatever kid, a Bandaconda, who ran for like 350 yards this weekend, by the way, in a game. But I think he's the best running back you're going to face all season. This could be the best quarterback you're going to face all season. The NFL scouts would have you think that that's Will Levis, but I'm not in agreement with them. I think it's Bryce Young. And he just makes that big of a difference. So I say, 40-33. If Young plays, Tennessee, they just have so much more talent right now. And I feel like that still just finally lifts them. But if Milroe plays, this is Tennessee's game to lose, I think. So that's what I'll say. I think it's that close for Tennessee right now.
Say TJ mentions if Young plays, the deep ball is going to be a little harder for him to throw than it was before. I don't really want to put that into my prediction because I just don't know exactly what Bryce Young will, how healthy he'll be, or if he'll be limited, or what he will or won't be able to do. And I can guarantee you, Tennessee's preparing for a fully healthy Bryce Young. They're also obviously having to prepare for Milroe as well. But if Bryce Young plays, you have to assume that he's Bryce Young and he's going to be able to do what he's done during his career at Alabama. So while I get what TJ's saying, and I think he's probably good chance he's correct that Bryce will be limited, I don't think we can assume that because we just don't know the extent of how limited he might be.
Yeah, my assumption is that Bryce Young comes in near 100%. That they don't just throw caution to the wind and a 50% Bryce Young is put out there to just, take a lick and have his career ruined.
Yeah, because even if Tennessee, if Bryce Young doesn't play and Tennessee wins like we think they would, Alabama can still run the table. They can still win in Atlanta. I mean, they beat Georgia in Atlanta last year. They still have they would still pretty much control their own destiny to get to the playoff. Now, the Tennessee loss would obviously make it a lot harder, and an additional loss, which you can't rule out based on the fact that an unranked Texas A&M team almost knocked them off. That obviously not something that scenario they want to envision, but I don't think. I said earlier that it would be their season and that they would definitely play Bryce. I kind of still feel that they're going to do everything they can to get him on the field. But if he's not anywhere close to, if he's 60%, no, you can't play him and then risk, losing him for a long time, like you said, because then your season is done. If you don't have Bryce Young, you're done. You're a 3 or 4 loss team.
I mean, Milroe is not bad. He just plays into Tennessee's hands.
Yeah.
He's the exact type of quarterback you'd want to see Tennessee play in this game, where he can't throw and he can only run. I mean, that's Tennessee's bread and butter on defense this year. They've just been so good with containing quarterbacks and stopping the run. And again, best running back you're probably gonna play up to this point in the season. Well, it is. This will be the best running back you played so far this season, and so that's always a factor. But they've been so good against the run. So win against Milroe, loss against Young for both of us. Let's see. Brittany Campbell says adjusted prediction with Young 38-34 Vols, with Milroe 38-24 Vols. TJ Bird says 40-17 if Milroe plays. Where some other ones? Mark says 38-24 Vols. Then down here he adjusted that and he said 50-0 Vols. Demetric, he says 34-21 Tennessee. Vols time says Tennessee 31, Alabama 24. Ben Hall says, boo this man to me because I picked Tennessee to lose with Bryce Young in. I appreciate all of the predictions there.